Hello everyone, my name is Tuhin. Today I have come up with an interesting video on LangGraph, building a simple AI capable agent. So in the last episodes we discussed how to build basic agent using LangGraph and how to create node, edges and basics of agent state, how to create multi-node agent, and finally creating conditional edges and feedback loop. Today we'll be building an agent with AI capability. For integrating with the LLM, we'll be using OpenAI. So OpenAI account is required. So today we'll be discussing building an AI agent. Here we'll build a simple LangGraph based AI agent where user will be asking a question and agent will answer that particular questions, and we'll use OpenAI GPT 4.0 model for demonstration purpose. This simple agent will not have any memory. So by memory I mean it will not have any context sensitivity. So whatever you have asked in the previous questions, that agent will not be able to remember. In the next episode we'll discuss about agent having memory. Now let's see quickly how to create uh, an account and how to create API key in OpenAI. So in OpenAI, you need to go to platform.openai.com and then you need to go to the settings. And once you go to the settings, you need to go to the API keys, and inside the API keys, you need to click create new secret key, and a secret key will be created. You need to save the secret key because once it is saved, then you cannot retrieve it again. Okay, once it is done, then we can move it to our project. So let's start with the demo. Python version used is 3.12.4. If you don't want to face any problem and if you want to build along, then make sure that you have Python 3.12.4 or Python 3.12 at least installed. And required Python packages are for this project are LangGraph, which will be used for building the nodes, agents, and edges. Python.env, it will be used for loading the keys from the .env file. So we'll be storing the OpenAI API key in the .env file. LangChain is the accessing core LangChain library, and as you know that LangGraph is built on LangChain, so few LangChain libraries will be required, and LangChain OpenAI for accessing LangChain OpenAI functionalities. And finally, we'll be creating this particular graph where we'll have a start node, we'll have an agent node, and we'll have an end node. So agent node will be responsible for creating that interactive AI agent for where it will take some question from the users and it will process that particular questions, and finally it will generate an answer. Now let's see it in demo. So for as we discussed, for this particular project we'll need a few Python libraries. Okay, so in order to install the libraries, we need to run the command poetry add so we can mention multiple libraries or dependencies. So 4 libraries are required: LangGraph, Python.env, LangChain, LangChain OpenAI. Let's install. So it got installed. Now let's move to the project. So we'll be using PyCharm for the project, and as you see here, these dependencies got installed: LangGraph, Python.env, LangChain, and LangChain OpenAI. Now I have created one .env file where I have stored the OpenAI API key. Okay, now we'll go and create few Python files. So first is schema. So where we'll be storing the agent state class. Next Python file will create nodes where we will define the nodes. And next is graph where we'll create the graph using the nodes and the schema that is agent state that is defined inside the schema. And finally, we'll create a file. So main.py we created. Now let's first start with the schema.py. So before starting, we have created an agent state which has a messages, and messages is a type of human messages. Human messages is a class which comes from the LangChain library, and it takes the human messages, and it has few formats available. You can go and check that particular class. Now let's create the nodes. So chat OpenAI comes from the LangChain OpenAI library. So we'll import that library. Load.env comes from the python.env. So we'll import this one as well. And agent state we have already defined inside the schema.py. So let's import that. So we have imported all the required dependencies, and next we'll go to the graph and create the graph. So state graph is a particular method available inside the LangGraph library, and agent state anyway we have already defined inside the schema.py. And start agent node, that is we already defined inside the nodes.py, and start is a predefined node inside LangGraph which defines the start of a particular graph, and end is again a predefined node in LangGraph which defines the end of a graph. So start and end we have imported. Now let's create the main. So agent we have already created. If you missed it here, we created this agent with the graph.compile and stored it inside agent. Then agent we are importing in main from the graph.py. So we have imported the agent. Now human messages, again it's a method available inside the LangChain core. So LangChain library we have already installed, so it is coming from there. So we are done with that, but after that we will add few more lines to generate the visual graph. Okay, so this is the code for generating the visual graph, and we'll be storing it inside the output directory. So let's create another directory called output. So it is done. Now we are good to run that particular project. Now go to main and let's run. Now it's asking that enter your message. I will just say hi. Now AI response is hello, how can I assist you today? Let me ask so AI response is I'm ChatGPT, and AI language model created by OpenAI. So you can see it here, it's interacting with OpenAI, and you can ask any question like what is the capital of Karnataka? AI response, the capital of Karnataka is Bengaluru. I would say thank you. I meant actually thank you. The AI response is you are welcome. If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to ask. Now, as if you check the nodes, we have printed the AI response. This is the AI response where it is generating the response, and it is getting the content from the after invoking the LLM, and where we are invoking the LLM and calling the ChatGPT 4.0 and getting the response and finally printing it. And if you go to the graph, we are actually compiling that particular graph, and just will enter a message called exit, and it will exit. Okay, so this is a simple AI capable agent we build using Lang. In the next episodes, we'll learn to build LangGraph AI agent with memory, and finally we'll build a LangGraph React agent, and after that we'll use LangSmith for tracing purpose, which will be very useful for a production grade agent. So stay tuned. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.